Have you ever played a Mania map and looked at this beautiful masterpiece and wondered why the heck does this barely get any recognition? Or the classic, how the fuck is this less than 6 stars? Well, don't worry, because most of us have been there, and that's what I'm going to be discussing today. Just to be clear, there are so many underrated maps, more than I could ever even cover if I was ranting about this for several hours on end. So I'll be covering ones that I personally think deserve a lot more recognition for both the 4-key and 7-key key modes, starting off with Vacant Rhapsody. To put it lightly, this song is really good. Hands down the best Penariri song. And you know what else is also really good? The map itself. Mapped by Ruka and Kobe, who are among the list of my favorite mappers, especially Ruka. This map resonates a lot with me, not just because it's such a beautiful song and map, but also because it was used for the 2026 Mania World Cup as the semifinals tiebreaker. If you watched my MWC video, you'll know that we lost in semifinals. We were really close to reaching the tiebreaker, and knowing that this could have been the map that decided everything still sits with me to this day. And yeah, I know that one of the main reasons why this has less than 5,000 plays is because it's 7-key, and just basically impossible for many to play. But I still can't help but think it's underrated even among the 7-key community. Especially the amount of time, effort, and the amount of people that went into the making of this. Also shout out to the storyboarders, because they did an amazing job. As for the star rating, I say this is actually quite balanced, maybe slightly inflated at the worst case, but the star rating is perfect in my eyes. As of the making of this video, there's actually going to be a 4th Sev26. Yes, I'm serious, this one got ranked recently, and you probably haven't seen it yet. Now, before you go to the comments and say,
Nameless, we already have 3 ranked maps of Sev26. We have a 7-key that's farm, a 4-key that's even more farm, and another 4-key that's even more farm. Why would we need another one?
Yeah, I know, but hear me out. Now, what makes it special, you may ask? Well, unlike all Sevs, this one is actually a full rice map. It is not easy to say at the very least. I tried this out on the live stream since the mapper himself told me to check it out, and let's just say I didn't handle it well.
I'd be lucky if I get a 93. I just don't feel like it gets that hard.
Even though I struggled to play it, the overall mapping quality is actually pretty good, and it's one of those maps where the difficulty increases as you get through it. I may be a wee bit biased since I really love Lauren, especially Sev26, so if you're getting tired of this being the 4th one in ranked, I can understand that. For the star rating, definitely underrated. No way in hell this is a 7 star. I'd say a more fair star rating is around a mid-high to high 8 star. Yes, you're seeing a Korjak map. Now, Korjak being underrated? No, that's not what I'm implying here. You see, this map isn't just an ordinary boring quad hand Korjak map that is just the same thing over and over. This map is pretty long jack focused. It has a unique mini jack techie twist, which means it prioritizes finger control over density, which is something I think we can appreciate more. Considering the star rating too, it's safe to say it's underrated in the sense of popularity and difficulty. Not just that, but from what I hear, Femtinol is a pretty good music artist, and a lot of people say we could use more of their songs in Mania, so this is a good step for making that true. As for the star rating, this is for sure underrated. I'd say maybe by almost an entire star. So a more fair star rating is around a low mid 6 star. No! I got 1 grade on Push Your Temper, oh my god. To get to the point, I'll just say that this is probably the only map that is this hard that I actually enjoy. As a 7-key main, finding 4-key maps this hard is nearly impossible for me to have fun with because I like the physicality to somewhat hit most of these. This map, however, is a lot more finger control oriented rather than using pure density to increase its difficulty. That's exactly why I find it much more enjoyable. It's a well thought out hybrid tiebreaker styled map, but I would be lying if I didn't say it's more focused on the Korjak and tech aspect for the right sections. So if that's in your forte, this could be worth giving a shot, and if you can play this in at least halftime, I highly suggest trying it out. On to the star rating check, I'd actually say this is quite fair. Sure, maybe you can get a good amount of PP from this, but unlike most farm maps, I'd say this is actually quite deserved, and an accurate amount of PP too. At most, I'd say this is moderately inflated, maybe by like 0.3 stars. So around a high mid 8 star is more fair in my opinion. Going back to 7-key, in the Ragnarok is a very unknown map, even by 7-key standards. It's mapped by none other than Turks and it's a hybrid map. The map was featured in the 2025 Mania Chinese National Cup as the semifinals tiebreaker. This map has some pretty gimmicky sections, and I'd say that's what makes it stand out more. Compared to other 7-key maps I have or will mention, this one is much more accessible to players since it is an endgame difficulty. What I particularly like about this map is the tech section around the halfway mark and the last drop at the end, as well as the grace and shield usage. The patterning is a little bit more unconventional compared to other tiebreakers I've seen, so it has some pretty cool quirks. It's an overall good map, I'd say. For the star rating, this is definitely underrated. I'd say this should be around a low mid 8 star or a mid 8 star. This map is pain to say the least. The background gameplay you're seeing right now is not for me because I am not playing this 320 BPM tech stream map. Now, I'd say this is underrated in terms of star rating and popularity because, let's be for real, this sure as hell is an 8 stars. Well, nameless, maybe it's underrated in popularity because it's so hard that even many pro players struggle in halftime, let alone any decent Mania players. Well, yes, I won't deny that that is true, but even among top players, there isn't that much activity pushing going on for this map. I mean, more than half of the scores in the top 50 is from more than 4 months ago, and considering that this hasn't even been a year since the map has gone ranked says something. I think the map can really shine a lot more if we could get more 4-key players to push for crazier plays, especially because the potential scores we can get from this map can get really crazy. Oh yeah, and the star rating? Yeah, get that shit out of here, bro. We all know damn well that this isn't 8 stars. Good luck trying to even get 700 let alone 600 PP play from this. Anyways, star rating check time. Underrated? Yeah, severely. More for a star rating? About a mid to high 9 star. Wait, scratch that. Maybe even 10 stars. You know what? I don't even know at this point. Oh man, is this map really gimmicky, and I mean that in a good way. This is a hybrid tech map that is the furthest thing from using dense patterning. If anything, you'll find that there are hardly any triples in this map. This map uses a variety of long jacks as well as fast mini jacks and shields. It really tests your finger control rather than your physicality, which is something I find very special about this map. Not to mention the song itself too. I think it's pretty darn good. Anyway, for its star rating, this map is really underrated. Good luck trying to even get 450 PP from this map. Oh yeah, and the drop, also good luck with that because trying to get a good act on that is really difficult to say the least. Anyways, for the star rating check, definitely underrated. A more accurate star rating is around a low mid to mid 7 star.
Now, honestly, after a few maps being talked about that are 7-key hybrid, 7-key L in general, or even 4-key core jack and 4-key hybrid tech, you may be wondering, where's the rice? Or where's the dump? Well, I'm here to talk about one of the most influential maps of its time, if not all time, the Poetic Edda. This map was a collaboration between the mappers Keylotech and tiebreaker. If you haven't heard these names before, you should learn them. Keylotech may be more recognizable from his Executioner, Sigurdrifia, Everka, or even his Dimension Wars. tiebreaker, on the other hand, is a considerably underappreciated mapper for his quality and mapping prowess. His two most famous maps are To the Hellfire and Of the Abyss, which was a collaboration with Trey. His mapping style is one of the most unique ones and can very rarely or never be replicated by others in the mapping community. Through SVs, complicated snap changes, and usually full rise, he puts map representation to the limit with little to no regard for difficulty control. Now going back to the Poetic Edda, this map is not only underrated, but also understarred. Being widely considered as Epsilon low dump tech, it is a mere 6.6 star rating. Now, as I said earlier, this map was insanely influential. What I mean by this was that at the time of the rank, this was the hardest map in the rank section. It faced pushback and experienced multitudes of quality control because the BNs wanted to be as perfect as possible before letting a map this difficult to be allowed into the rank section. Although it was the hardest ranked map at the time, just 49 days later, another map that was harder than it came out. But I'm not here to talk about that. The map, with this influentiality, only has a measly 11,000 plays at the making of this video. The map consists of dump res tech, dump jacks, and an SV ending, all focused around combining the representation of drums, vocals, and other musical components of the song. The map is 6 minutes long in drain time, and rarely lets up on the fingers for a break. The map, being as brutal as the brutality of the brutal song, brutalizes your hands after brutally brutalizing your stamina. Brutally. As a player myself, I have come to love this map for its quality and representation, even though I have a measly 94 on it. For the star rating check, as I said before, it is a 6.68 star, but I believe it should be roughly 8.2 to 8.5 stars. Now, enough on this beautiful map, let's continue on to the next one.
Alright, let's take a step back from the 7-key hybrid maps and appreciate some rice ones. I swear that most 7-key players are unaware of the existence of this map because there are hardly any scores set on it. I find this pretty surprising too, since this is mapped by Blanco and it's very rare for his maps to be overlooked regardless of its difficulty. My guess would be that it's because this is too hard for many players to enjoy it, but not hard enough for people to completely miss this and pay attention to the even harder stuff. Which kinda sucks because this map has some pretty good mixed rice patterning. I'd say the stream sections of this map are the most prevalent, and we don't have that many ranked maps that scale at this specific difficulty, so I really find myself enjoying this one. Oh yeah, the star rating check, I nearly forgot about that. Severely underrated. Buff that by a whole star and a bit more. Around a mid to mid high 9 star. Okay, so Sense is technically a hybrid map because of that rice to LN ratio, but whenever you find yourself in an LN section in this map, you'll see that this is very finger control oriented because it basically plays out like an LN map. Coordination is such an underrated LN skill set, and this map does a great job of representing it in a way where it's enjoyable. Sense is not easy on the fingers, and if 7-key wasn't bad enough for you, it's considered a LN mixed map and is prevalent in the coordination department, which is kinda why there are hardly any scores set on this, but as I mentioned in a few other maps, I'd say it's unknown even among the 7-key players. But outside of coordination, this map also features some LN density patterning along with some speedy sections. And yeah, don't worry, this also has a dense stream section later on in the map if you enjoy that. Anyways, star rating check. In terms of star rating, I'd actually say this is a bit underrated. For a low 8-star map, it really tests your finger independence to the extent that most maps don't. I'd say Sense should be buffed by a little under half a star, so around a mid 8-star.
No f***ing way that's top 3 global. What?
Alright, this one may be a hot take among the 7-key community, because there are so many mixed opinions on this map. I may be starting to sound like a broken record at this point, but I swear this is gimmicky. No, I really mean that. To put this into perspective, if you're a 4-key player, this is like if Ska got into 7-key mapping with LNs on top of that. I think that just might be the best way to describe it, but I could be just going crazy. Anyways, this map is made with a completely different mapping ideology compared to other traditional mapping techniques, and I think that's exactly why opinions are so divided for this map. I think it's a lot more normalized to have untraditional mapping techniques in 4-key and especially in ranked. As for 7-key, this is the only map as far as I'm aware with this unique mapping style in ranked. I think more 7-key players will grow into this kind of mapping once we get more of it, because this can actually be really good if it's done correctly and with the proper quality checks. As for the star rating check, this is somehow a f***ing mid 7-star. Buff that by 1.5 stars and then we're approaching a more fair star rating. So yeah, severely underrated. Around a low to low mid 9 stars more fair. Dare I say this is rough. I really mean it. This is rough. But in a good way. Especially the 7-key difficulty. That shit has no mercy. As for the 4-key one, it was featured in the Grand Finals map pool for the 2024 4-key Mania World Cup. So, what's special about this map set? To state the obvious, it has both a 4-key and 7-key marathon difficulty. Seeing more than one key mode in the same map set is always something I appreciate, so I can enjoy the same song in different key modes. I should also mention that trying to rank a multi-key mode map set is significantly harder to rank, and especially when it's this hard, so I look at the effort that goes into these sort of map sets. Both the 4-key and 7-key difficulties are mixed rice, so you'll find yourself in various rice skill sets, and I'd say the speed and tech sections are the most brutal. Star rating check for the 4-key difficulty, really underrated. Buff that by like 1.5 stars, it should be a low mid to mid 7-star. For the 7-key difficulty, also really underrated. Buff that to a low to low mid 10-star. Yo!
Nice!
What the f***? Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, before you go flame me in the comments for my hot takes, let me just tell you, do not compare the star ratings of what I said for the 4-key and 7-key maps, because those are fundamentally different and should be entirely separated. There's so much more maps I would like to add into this list, but this video could go on forever, so let me know in the comments of what I could have gone wrong and what maps you think are underrated in your professional opinion. Make sure to go over to my OSU profile and give me a follow, or a mutual, I take those as well. Join the Discord server, join the OSU team, because we're actually growing quite a bit and anyone is welcome. And last but not least, please like and subscribe. As always, thanks to my server members, and I'll see you next time. Yeah, I really gotta fix that upload schedule.